You ready to jump in?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Wilder, can we get you a little brighter? You're a little dark.
Hold on.
Come on, you brown as fuck. You just turned off the camera, man. Where do you go, man? You just said, hold on.
He probably ordered the whole, like, the glam, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, he's gonna do a glow up real quick.
Hey, oh, look at that. How do you do that?
Listen, man. Y'all need to see the free balling that's going on over here.
Hey.
Proper Zoom etiquette, brother.
We're trying to keep this HGTV ready.
Oh, it is.
So let's elevate it.
HGTV.
All right, let's go. Let's make it official.
I got it.
There was a mayor in Atlanta named Maynard Jackson. When he took mayoralship, this is what he said. He couldn't find one African-American architecture firm at that time. So
One African-American
architect.
My boys are back in town. All right. So, in the building, gentlemen, we're back for another episode. Today, we finally, after without much deliberation, we figured out we're gonna do A-Rod's 11,000 square foot mansion in Miami, Florida. One of the marker pieces or important pieces of the building is you're greeted by a 24-foot cantilever entry canopy. For some of you who don't know what that means, that's a hell of a long piece of structure without any supports. 24 feet is probably the average width of about maybe 2 brownstones. Could that be accurate?
Nah, brownstone about 20,
yeah.
2018.
The Brooklyn one would be a little narrow. So
Yeah.
they call it as a mid-century modern home. Lots of indoor-outdoor space, lots of open windows, clear-story windows, which are the windows that are typically above your eye line. But one of the interesting features of the home is the garage is quickly converted into a full indoor basketball court, and there's about a 600 square foot master bedroom with a 500 square foot master bathroom connected to it. So the house is on 1.5 acres, 11,877 square feet. Let's jump in.
So is this like a driveway into that, or?
Yeah, I would looking at it, looks like it's one of those rotunda driveways.
I'm assuming you pull into this stone paved area and you hop out of your vehicle and you enter the home.
The one thing, if we're talking about curb appeal and however you drive to this home, they're making it, we know from looking at the other images that there's a lot of glass and a lot of open space, and they're definitely defining their public-private space with this entrance.
Yeah, it's a stark difference from what we've seen with the Kenya Barracks, which is very transparent. You can almost see into a lot of those rooms in the front of the home, see the living area, see some of the even parts of the rear of the house.
Got these nicely tapered shrubbery and trees.
I was gonna point that out.
Let me go into this manicured every day.
Because if you notice, yeah, they're making sure they don't impact the sidewalls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they got to worry about them roots, though.
Mm-hmm.
They can't cut those. And aren't the roots extend as far as the branches?
At least. Sometimes I think they said 5 times as long.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're trying to get a tree permit in New York City.
So now you may have some foundation issues at some point, maybe.
Or leaking. So this is the rear yard.
Is that water all the way across? Or is that glass? Oh, that's water, yeah.
That walkway separates the jacuzzi from the
That's kind of dope.
Yep.
What I enjoy is the ability, again, this is similar to Ellen's house, the ability to walk straight from the grass directly into the water. Definitely keeps your property cool. The heat sink effect is going to be very low considering you're getting that Miami heat.
Well, yeah, but even if you talk about the fact of the water, the body of water cooling off the environment around this house anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's the end. So this is the arrival.
Yep. So you do get to see more.
So that's his game room. I think that room to the right through that glass with the stairs, that looked like it was game room. I don't know if it's accessible directly from the front yard, but I saw he had a lot of TVs in there. He probably watches a lot of baseball games in there. What do you think is the purpose of that curb running around, the curb on the outside of that? You think that's a door to the left-hand side?
What curb?
On the left side, Yeah.
I think they're just raising the elevation to keep that uniform look of, like, see how the roof lines of each.
Yeah,
They're
and
basically raising that profile at the bottom to frame that entire.
and look at the ground, the uplighting at the ground.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like it's floating.
Mm-hmm.
So this is more backyard. That's the shot we just seen. So that's another one of those cantilevers we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they have it where when you exit outside, when you leave the actual home, you're pretty much right on grass unless it's a seating area.
Right. This is a house that's friendly to sandals and bare feet.
You're right.
No argument there.
Sandal friendly home.
This is a sandal friendly.
Well, with that being the case,
So there's a lot of exploration of indoor, outdoor. The spaces all seem to be sort of. I'm wondering about the circulation. With all of these expansive glass and openings, do you think that people often are walking, instead of walking through the circulation on the indoors, or are they just going to open the door and walk from, say, this billiard hall to the opposite side of it?
Yeah, you're walking all directions.
Now
Right.
you'll swim through.
You could do that too.
I don't know if you
Take a
know,
quick dip.
You have options.
they
There's
also
a
have
mat.
they have walk-off mats all over.
Yeah.
They have
Yo,
one.
so you just walk out the house and jump in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's ill. Let me swim to the bar.
Yeah, right.
100%. And take a dip in the hot tub on the way there.
So the idea is these courtyards are the courtyards are linking a lot of these spaces. And there's the basketball court to the right. You see the basketball hoop in the garage? So that's the garage.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
Oh yeah, good eye.
So there's glass partitions. Is there a shower behind there? Yep. So this is dining area, and this is adjacent to that other room we just saw. I really like the clear story windows in that space, making that space feel a lot larger.
Especially since they're making the decision to use all these dark grays and black tones. It's creating a stark contrast, which is very nice.
Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
one.
And even the furniture arrangement seems like it goes exactly with the shapes of the rooms.
I agree. Great
And
work.
I
Looks
like how
it would be-
they separated these spaces with those second partial height elevations, because you have a big one of the questions everybody asks us is, we have this big open floor plan, how do I separate my rooms? And this is a pretty sweet way of doing it.
Oh, you mean the change in the volumes?
Yeah, changing elevations,
Yeah.
the change in ceiling heights.
Yeah, it really, like, the volumes really seem segmented and defined versus it being like, even though we see it's open, it definitely feels like there's separation with all of these spaces. Like, even from looking from the courtyard, you see different rooms, like pods almost.
And it's interesting, if you look in the photograph down straight to the center, that's the popcorn machine. So that means that this living room is the opposite side of that other room. Yeah, there it is.
Popcorn machines here.
So this is the opposite side. Is that through the courtyard then?
From the other side of the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So this is that same room. So the photographer had fun taking shots. So this room you can definitely enjoy. Shade, indoor, outdoor, or in between both.
This is the indoor of that space. And then this is the outdoor.
It feels like it's two different spaces almost.
See the Keith Haring painting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that space might really be meant for you to really hang out inside. And that's like their art room. Enjoy the art while we chilling.
But you know, it's glass too, so you can close it up. So
Yeah.
They got better curtains than Pharrell though.
we're not even talking about Pharrell House on here.
Oh,
that joint is floating even more than we thought it was.
Yeah, that shit is. I like that reveal. I like that.
This
So
is
this
the only
is-
room I've seen with color,
Yeah.
which feels very weird.
So this is.
That's the movie room.
This is this. This is the theater.
And is that door or is that a hallway connecting to the outside?
Yeah.
That's the back door. That's the back door right there we saw earlier with the
Yes, it
canopy.
is. That's
So
that door space that we looked at.
Yeah, and that's the side. So there looks like there is a walkway over there.
So there's probably that sliding partition that closes for that
Looks
hallway.
like it. You see a hint of this wood edge. I'm assuming that slides. and
Yeah.
closes off, and this one closes off.
A lot of times people like to hide their entertainment room, man. This one is smack right in the middle of the courtyard. It's in there.
Oh, those are his Golden Gloves and his World Series in the corner.
Haha,
He
sweet.
didn't want you to see them.
Very odd. Wait a minute. Look
And
at
a
that. Look at that
Concrete
table, yo.
coffee table. It's concrete. It looks like a concrete pour.
And it's very narrow.
And
I
it
think
looks
it's
like
a footrest.
That's a footrest.
what?
That's
Yeah.
a footrest.
That's not a table. That's really more of a
It's a
footrest.
foot-
Yeah, because you don't need a coffee table.
To watch
You're thinking
movies?
films. Right.
So where do you put your popcorn?
Your
Where you
lap.
put your popcorn? you
I don't have an 11,000 square foot house. I put my joint right on my coffee table.
And
You
you
put it in
keep,
your lap.
you keep reaching for it.
Sometimes, but what about your drink? You put it on the floor? You gonna be reaching over on the floor?
You be trying to tell me you don't have the baseball cap?
Nah, man. Is that a water thing or is that like a floating? Is that like a jacuzzi or is it
It looks like a water feature.
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. Are those jets or those lights?
It might be.
Looks
jets.
like lights, but what if it is a little hot tub moment?
That'd be.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
So that's why
I
I'm
don't see a-
hanging.
I don't see a purpose for not doing like a jacuzzi. Like
And
just
those are
put-
sliding doors right there. Those are all sliding doors. So you can see the handle.
That's a bathroom on the left. So hey,
Oh, so that's the bathroom they're talking about. That's connected by that courtyard, that other
so
courtyard.
you might just jump right in there.
you got the little couple plants over there.
You know what? That past picture or whatever. What I really liked is just how the building is elevated. So the whole building is about planes, just in all different, I guess on different axes or whatever. But I think it's really cool that even though it hits the ground, you still maintain that idea and thought.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's probably why. If you go back a couple of shots, actually, you'll see not every portion of the house is elevated. So I look here in the backyard.
So the backyard isn't elevated. The backyard isn't elevated.
See that? It's all on the same plane, but then here it is. Look, if you look in other parts, it's not elevated. Because also there's a level change. Look at there's 3 steps.
Yeah, that's true.
And
There is.
it's also reinforcing the public-private because this is a form of security almost. You feel like a stop sign versus when it's flat, it's encouraging you to keep walking.
Right.
Right.
Defensible space.
So the floating sinks in that master bath is dope too.
Another small walk-off mat to bring you inside.
So we know that's the back door right adjacent to that screening room.
Got a lot of wood in here.
I'm not feeling the sculpture above the bed. That's just me. It has no purpose to me.
The A-Rod picked that, I promise you.
I thought he picked the roses next to the bed on each side.
That looked like, when people be come with a logo for their name, that looked like something he was like, yo, this is my name logo.
This is the rejected one.
Oh man. Yeah, it must be nice designing and not having to worry about insulation.
Bruh. Who you think?
I got a mass wall to give me all the heat I need.
But they said they used some of those techniques in the house from the description. So, So this is another shot from that same room we've been looking at.
Right. And there's that
Outside,
Basquiat on the wall there. That's
There's
that
the canopy.
sculpture you didn't like.
That's the screening room over there.
So these overhangs and cantilevers are kind of undulating in a sense. Like if we had a roof plan, you could probably see they're at different depths.
Yeah.
Every single one of those cantilevers really does accentuate that space where they are. It brings you in, pulls you out. It does it all.
So
What's this
Now we're
narrow
at
space?
this is that outdoor space.
The cabana.
Looks like, is that a grill?
Yeah.
That is definitely a grill.
Wolf Grill. Is that a deep fryer next to it?
It looks like one. Yeah, that's a grill. Double TVs in the hood.
So let me ask you a question. It rains in Miami, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
hard.
Yeah.
So what do you do with all the furniture? Do you just shove it inside when it starts to rain?
Nah, that's out.
Outdoor furniture.
That's outdoor furniture. It'll live. That water
it
just goes
dries quick. Plus Miami, like when it rains, it's gonna rain maybe a couple hours and then you back to
So
heat. You see it's close proximity to other homes.
Yeah,
how
I can
close
see
you
that
seeing?
breeze,
You think that's close?
That's
It's
right
an acre
behind
and a
those
half.
trees.
It's an acre and a half. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but this is in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, you see this on the left side here? That's the game in. They got the, is that bocce? Or, not, or what's that? Not,
Shuffleboard.
shuffleboard.
Backgammon?
Life-
Some backgammon?
Life-size backgammon, human backgammon.
Fully stocked bar.
Oh, they made that wall a feature piece because they did not open that room up to the exterior. They added that wall in between.
Interesting. So this is the diagonal of where that barbecue bar is, and this is also that same path that led us to those.
So let me ask you. So looking at this hallway, is it the expectation is, you know, as a designer, you have to make a choice to say, all right, I'm limited to this amount of space for this hallway, and I have this amount of overhang. Is it that the idea or the concept was we're gonna keep these doors or these large sliding doors open at all times so that hallway feels wider, or is it that again you're not even gonna be using these hallways and you're just gonna be basically walking across the grass from space to space?
I think it's all based on the day. Like they're because if I got kids there and I don't know, am I really keeping these doors open all day, every day?
It's more like I'm adding these doors because I'm required to enclose the space, but I really would just want to leave everything open.
I'm
Yeah,
required
I
to
don't know.
keep space.
I think some rooms, some areas are going to be closed and some areas are going to be open. Like, because we still have to think about noise. Who knows what is in the area? So if you have these things open all day and you're in your home, it's not. I don't think they're that far away from people where they can't hear nothing.
Go back one shot.
You got plenty of trees lining. They got trees and then greenery behind the trees.
Right. How wide do you think that hallway is?
Think about 4 or 5 feet. 5 feet,
You think it's 4 feet?
at least 4.
It has to be. But all right, next shot.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, as I say, it feels like 5, but
Okay. So what is this room?
this is the cigar and yak room.
It feels like it.
This is similar to Drake's Raekwon Ghostface Killer room.
Nah, come on, yo. Stop mentioning inferior homes, man.
He said inferior homes.
Fuck
What
your
room is this?
There's no TV in there, nothing. You might be smoking. You think there's a projector on there? It can't
No,
project
we got
on that?
Australia
We got
rules.
reflective paint, high
Is that
gloss.
leather? Is that leather?
But that's not even anything to sit on. That's a console.
That's the front yard.
Yeah, that's that view when you
That's the front yard. So to the right,
when you're approaching the home before you turn.
right.
So that's just the welcoming room.
What the fuck is this? This is an installation.
Yo,
Now you're losing it, A-Rod.
tire art, bro.
This
Tire
is my
art.
outdoor gym.
It's my outdoor gym.
Oh, but that's the same room as that cigar lounge or whatever. Because I'm looking at the photos on that wall.
Yep.
But you can walk through every space. There's a door here. That's operable. This is operable. Like everywhere is like promoting you to move into and through all of these spaces unto another. Really quick, by the way, this is that corridor that you asked about, the depth, the width, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's the entire fun area because that was the theater room over to the left. That was that corner, and then the bar was behind that wall.
The one thing, just even based on our conversation, like there's a high level of detail and thought put into almost every piece of this house.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to
Ellen's.
Swiss Beats, especially for this sort of modern style home. Like it feels like a less is more, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like they're actually doing a lot of things on this home, but because of the color palette, things don't really jump out at you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that entire wing is the entertainment wing. Got the pool
Exactly.
hall, poker room,
Yeah, they go to
bar.
Bars over here.
Okay, so now we're figuring out the floor plan.
Yeah. And this is this the real kitchen look? Is this the kitchen? So you got 8 stools.
Those are actually modern kungas. Those aren't stools.
You got 1 sink.
Got
You
the
think there's
random,
2 kitchens? You think there's 2
random
kitchens?
plant. Yeah, this kitchen's very small.
Yeah, this has got to be
one- I mean, we saw where the dining room was. Is this close to that room?
it might be through that area to the left.
Maybe it's on the back
With
side.
the white wall.
Yeah.
You think that's the refrigerator on the right? It must be the refrigerator on the right.
Yeah, it's definitely hidden.
That's probably the refrigerator on the right
Yeah.
side.
And they might have pantries on the right as well.
I wonder where that double door on the left goes to.
I think this is the first one we've seen where they've actually had 1 sink.
Which one? What?
All the other houses have 2 sinks at their large.
Multiple sinks.
Yeah, for sure.
Even her apartment has 2 sinks.
Which might be a nod to the fact that maybe this is the kitchen that they use when they're sort of entertaining people for the outdoor spaces.
The outdoor?
It's a different kitchen they use for the interior spaces.
The grill is the outdoor kitchen.
Well,
Sure.
the grill is definitely the grill, but an actual kitchen, if they're like serving food up, catering style, maybe this is what they use. I mean, that's quite an expanse of countertop and 8 stools.
I like the night pool and the pool at night. I would love to jump in that joint right now.
Well, that's the last photo, brothers.
And I like those lines. Those lines are sexy.
Which lines?
Well, there's multiple. The pool lines, the canopies from the tops of the buildings, the eye lines that draw you to the
Tree line.
The tree line. Then there's the clear story line, which matches sort of with the television.
All the trees, like there are, like everything was done.
Yeah.
Like everything was thought of. Like even that little detail of the shallow part of the pool,
Right.
where for those people that just want to get their feet wet, but they can just continuously walk without changing stride or anything.
I would agree that Rasmus's point about planes, the prominence of planes is definitely a key design element that they're looking for here.
Definitely.
Definitive. I wonder if these are those stairs that take you to that gaming area where that.
Yeah, I think that's what you were saying. That's what.
Yeah,
that
it is.
to.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You see what they did, right? So they created
The grass.
Oh, I like that.
Grass runs right to the end with the shrubs.
So it blends.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying that's why that hot dog jog happens right here, and they go over to your turn, and they do the hot dog jog. They go down the steps and they run around over there to the gaming area.
You know, we jumping over that shrub. I still got it. Still got it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna laugh when somebody falls.
Of course.
My knee, my Achilles.
But you don't do it till you drunk. That's when you do it.
Then you stand up, you got mustard, relish, and ketchup shirt. You know what I'm
And twigs.
saying?
Twigs.
That's oregano.
That's oregano.
All right, rating system time.
All right.
I want to hear Eve first.
All right. This is
The toughest.
one of the better houses we've seen. One thing I will note is we did not see any of the too many of the private spaces. We got brief glimpses into some of their secondary and tertiary bedrooms, but we don't get to see it in master suites. I would have loved to see some shots of that garage, which is a basketball court. So there's still some unknowns. The house had a lot of high marks. There was a lot of effort and attention paid to some key points, the materials. We talked about the planes. We talked about, there was, in comparison to, say, a Drake's house, would we agree that there is the kit of parts on this house is a little bit more broader, although the concepts are similar. But on this house, I'd probably have to give it a 4.5 4.3, 4.4. I'll give it a 4.4.
What you say is missing?
4.4 sandals. 4.4 sandals. That's where I'm at. Until I see the master suite and even some of those other master private.
That's why I wanted you to go first.
Why?
Because I knew you was gonna have like some weird reason not to give it a different rating. Yo, so you telling me now? I'll take your argument for Swiss Beats house. Like things weren't evident, but with you not being able to see, and adding that on to everything that you have seen, there has been no inconsistencies. So you think they're gonna drop the ball on the most important spaces, the 6,000 square foot or 600 square foot master bedroom?
It's not that I think they're gonna drop the ball. We have seen past houses and past homes before where there's been little attention paid to the master suites. Rihanna, for instance.
We didn't see any bathrooms. That's what you should say.
We saw one or two of those bathrooms.
No, I'm talking about this house.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I said. I said that we didn't get to see some of those spaces. I mean, do we even get a real shot of the real kitchen? We got the second. I believe what we saw is maybe the butler's kitchen.
So no one will ever get a 5 because we'll never see everything.
I didn't say that.
That's
if it's gonna be a NINES architecture production, then yeah, I'm gonna give that an easy 5.
So some people might be bold enough to give us a floor plan.
Right.
We saw what happened last time we got a floor plan.
But yeah, so I'm at 4.4.
After these joints air, nobody's gonna give us a
floor plan. They're like, nah, not them dudes. Go ahead, Nico. So I'm at 4.4. 4.4, B.
For what we've seen, because I agree, we have definitely the bathrooms. I think is what's really missing from the photos that we haven't seen. Because I've definitely had some past houses that they've lost almost an entire point off of the bathroom. So from what we've seen, I'll give it 4.75. The only reason, the missing part of that 0.25 is I was still underwhelmed by that kitchen. Because I didn't see anything else, I actually do think that was the main kitchen. So? Because there's 8 stools in that kitchen. It's a
good point.
Important space. So I felt underwhelmed with that kitchen. I felt like that range area was too tight. That was a dual 48-inch fridge right next to it. They really need to go that route. It's the space here just didn't work out well for me. But the thing is that everything else was so good that I just don't feel that was enough to cut more points off of that. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand on this one. I think I'm at 4 3/4.
I'm gonna talk myself to my rating. So one thing I love about the house is not just necessarily the connection of outdoor space and indoor space, but how the site plan kind of works. Like you really can say they balanced the hell out of this 1.5 acres of land, and we're not necessarily seeing everything, but I feel like I have a lot of indoor space to do what I need to do, and I also feel like I have a lot of outdoor space to do a lot of different activities. And we didn't show these images, but we saw a lot of images of his family outside, or their family outside, which sort of implies that they can spend a lot of time outside and still be able to do any activity that they kind of want to do without necessarily knowing how big the house is, how much open space there actually is. But I think however they decided to orient the home, the forms, everything kind of really works well. One of my issues, I did have an issue with the kitchen as well, only because like even if you look at this bar, yo, relax. Even if you look at this bar, the bar, it feels bigger than the actual kitchen. Overall, I also love the simplicity of material selection. They didn't, they wavered with the color in the media room, the theater, but that's expected. You knew they were gonna have, but they could have went all black there too. But I guess they wanted to go for a pop of color. With that being said, I think I'm probably at a 4 point. Since we doing off numbers, I'll say like a 4.8.
I'll go next. Pretty much, I just piggyback off of pretty much everything that everyone else has said. I truly appreciate how just everything, how it comes together looks really simple. But you can tell there was a lot of effort and there's a lot of details that are throughout the space. And I think that's one of the things that really lets you know that this is a good design. I'll rate it. It could be 4.5, 4.75. Just it's definitely in the higher range, and just more or less what everyone else has been saying. The lack of seeing some of the more private spaces, but based off of what is presented, I do believe it probably came together as well. And I guess the biggest thing that we've seen is the underwhelming kitchen.
G?
I like the way that the house is tied together. It has consistency in form. I like the way they manage height. I like the way they definitely manage plane. Their minimal use of color, but their purposeful use of minimal color. Their consistency and use of texture. The way that they allocate space throughout. The way they adjoin spaces together. The purposeful decisions they make with level changes. The decisions as far as proximity and how things are together and not together. But I think I think every part of the house is at the same volume in terms of like energy level. When you enter the house, you enter on this gravel. It's everything is manicured. You get a hint of like what's happening with the raised planes of the pavilion at the left of the house. Then clearly that's your entry space there. So it's like everything is sort of giving you a hint of what's to come. Because it looks like when you enter, you still can see into the other courtyard where those wheels are. So I think there's a lot here. It's tied together very well, done well. You can walk through any space. You can walk in a space, out of a space, and still feel like you're not in some weird oblong space that is not purposeful. I would probably rate this house minimally at a 4.75, but I could probably go higher. Actually, I know I could go higher. Again, I think the same deficit would be that kitchen, which is a little underwhelming. I think what bothers us a lot, this is that courtyard that you can see off of the entryway. But I think what bothered us a lot is the amount of space that this entire kitchen appears to take up. And then when you see this back space of it, the amount of space that this volume takes up is bothersome to us, I believe. I think we feel like it needs to open up. Then it would feel more purposeful, especially knowing that people's processes for cooking. So that is an underwhelming moment, but also once I started to discover that, well, you can walk the grounds, go down here. It's like every place they want you to walk to is like interconnected in some way, shape, or form. And there's speakers everywhere. I think it's done very well. I enjoyed the layout. I enjoyed the way that they use light. I enjoy the fact that they created planes with light with the tree line. So great job. I think I'll end off with a 4.85 actually, now that I've pointed out some other elements of it.
Hey.
I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Fellas, Erasmus is now at nighttime.
Nice work.
He's about to ask us if we want the red pill or the blue pill.
We never notice it when it happens.
I know, we never do. It's just all of a sudden we look up and Erasmus
We just look up like, and G will always catch it.
It's like Erasmus does the lights out challenge every Friday.
Say bye to everybody.
Good night.
Peace, brother.
See each other then.
I'm gonna fade out.
I'll holler at y'all in the morning. Come on, brother. Come on. Go.